Hello, meow and hello. Welcome back, each and anyone else out there in Twitch land. So tonight, pretty much I've been excited to play everything we've been streaming these last few evenings, but this is yet another one. So tonight we've got A Place Forbidden, which folk might remember from the Haunted PS1 demo disc a while back. It involved exploring a mysterious library full of puzzles. It has a very sort of almost Echo Nighty vibe is what it immediately calls to mind. But in the demo, we pretty much just went around the library, solved a few puzzles, and then right at the end it got kind of spooky. But the full game apparently goes way further. Yes. I think yes. I believe that was the library with the giant friend. Cool, okay. Glad you remembered. So now we're going to... Ahoy hoy! Yar. Welcome back. So let us now travel to the Library of Ouroboros as we seek to find ultimate knowledge in a place forbidden. Ah. Oh my god, with title music by Pukazilla, hell yeah. I love her stuff. Okay, extras. I think the prologue was the demo we played. Okay. Input method. I guess it's going to be a keyboard. Camera bob. Well, we'll keep it on for now. Field of view seems good. Things seems good. I don't think there's any voiceovers, so I don't think there'll be any subtitles. Let's do the prologue, just so we can, if indeed that is the demo, and for folks who haven't seen it yet, they can check it out. Library of Ouroboros. I'm finally here. It's almost anticlimactic to stand so easily within its walls, after all those years of searching. If the rumors are true, the library contains knowledge beyond anything one might hope to find on Earth. Words of power, occult learnings, enough to transcend death. Be mine. All of it. I just need to know where to look.
This art looks really pretty.
So yes, we're in the library of Snake Whom Bite His Own Ass. A transcript. I've been having these nightmares, Doctor. I'm alone, but I don't feel alone, not like I should. Rather, there's no one with me, but that's not to say there's nothing around. It's difficult to explain, but it is an uncomfortable feeling. Something drones low in the background all the while. I can hear snatches of whispers, but only just barely. Like something's conversing with me just out of my range of hearing. Just as something is watching just out of my sight range. Everything's too still. It's wrong. Yes, the classic Legend of Zelda boss, Oingo Boingo. I don't remember how I got there, and I can't figure out how to leave. Everything is all hallways upon hallway, and shelves of books that look like they've never been opened. Almost all of them are still, and yet I get a feeling. I mustn't open any of them, whatever I do. There's a pull toward them, of course, the sense that I will learn more than I could ever hope to on Earth. There's a danger, a vague, creeping danger, the feeling that something is very, very interested in every move I make. Who or what it might be, I don't know. I don't know if it wants to bring me in or if it wants me to leave. How does it end? Well, as I mentioned, there's no real way to escape. Every place I go leads to more rooms, but eventually, after a time, I don't really hear them so much as feel them. Look no further, look no further, look no further. And then I wait, and every time I feel farther from this world. To be honest, Doctor, I hope it's all in my imagination. I hope I'm afflicted with some kind of mania. Because a place like that can't exist, shouldn't exist, and if it does, then I can only hope that no one else would be so unfortunate as to visit it. Well, that bodes well. Biographies. I've heard of none of these people. novels, science fiction and fantasy, as well as a few stray romance novels. Section contains mostly horror novels. How droll. A few volumes stand out on math and physics, but the rest are from more obscure wings of science. Interesting, but not what I'm looking for. Telephone. I like how the cable is still connected to it as I move it around.
Stretching across the room.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I can move it when. Yeah. Stores immobile. I can only imagine what strange arcane secrets lie behind its varnished surface. Pardon me, but that's the bathroom. Secrets. Why would I leave? I've only just arrived. Locked. Damn. A partial history of the library. The Library of Ouroboros wasn't so much built as it simply came to be. That much we've been able to glean from the early murky tales about a certain endless structure rich in occult knowledge. The first tale was penned by an unnamed Gaelic mystic, who compiled a variety of accounts from travelers complaining of strange dreams. Many of these travelers' accounts of the place were the same, endless hallways of strange materials, magic devices that seemed to give off light or sounds without any visible source, but rarely were there many tangible details, aside from these characteristics and the font of knowledge ringing the walls of the place. This, of course, changed in approximately 670 when the mystic was visited by a lone woman. She was reportedly wild-eyed, half-mad, and complaining of dreams much the same as her fellows, but she claimed that these dreams became reality briefly, and she at one point even visited that bleak place. She claimed to run into a dark, amorphous figure with a score of glowing red eyes. This figure apparently spoke to her, promising her black knowledge should she only pledge herself to it. Though the mystic asked how this woman escaped such a place, the woman gave him no explanation. In fact, she spoke no further, withdrawing from the mystic's hut to begin her traveling canoe. She was never seen or heard from again. This testimony is hardly a concrete example of the library's existence, but it certainly makes one wonder. If tales like this could exist from the earliest days of modern man, what other truths could lie buried deep in the past, should one be willing to tunnel through the cobwebs of years to reach the ancient tales hidden beneath? The Minister's Doom, Act 3, Scene 2. Bernice enters, followed closely by the librarian. Bernice is breathless, looking both exasperated and slightly excited. Librarian's expression is unreadable as per usual. My husband will find out about us. He won't stay out forever. I wouldn't be so sure, my dear, but shall we retire to the living room if we're to speak of such unpleasantness as your husband? Bernice's face breaks suddenly into a grin. She grabs the librarian's hand, taking him onto the couch beside her. Fine then, if you're to stay, I want to hear some of those secrets you keep talking about. You can't play me for the fool forever. I would never claim to do such a thing, my dear. Would you care to hear I can stop a human heart with but a word? Goodness, that sounds dangerous. It most certainly is. I wish to hear it. Then of course you shall. He leans close to Bernice, who closes her eyes as if expecting a kiss, but the librarian leans past her, whispering something in her ear. Bernice's eyes open wide. She gives a single jerk, a strangled groan, and goes limp, sliding off the couch. Too curious for her own good. He stands, reaching in one of his pockets to withdraw a single black case containing Bernice's wedding ring. Taking a cursory look around the living room, the librarian eventually focuses on a single point on the opposite side. The librarian crosses the floor, leaves his item, and turns to leave. As he does so, the scene darkens, leaving only a single spotlight to illuminate the stage. It is fixed on the small black case, which the librarian has decided to leave sitting atop the minister's writing desk. On the Founder. They came to the domain, a blank canvas in the cosmos from places unknown in oldest time. They have existed longer than man, longer than the sentient stones of Earth, longer than the cosmic force that runs through all things. They have always been. They saw the ruin that coursed through the universe, the constant in and out flux of entropy, and with entropy went items of worth, and it was that worth that they sought to salvage. Not things, ideas, thoughts, power intangible. Through the years they reached where their powers were immense. Through aeons they snatched up secrets, dark and light, but it wasn't long before it all became too much, even for those ancient The remaining pages have been torn out of this book, and their place is a single piece of lined paper with an untidy scrawl standing upon it in red ink. The key to go further could have been deciphered from the last word in each of these books, but I tore them out. I couldn't let anyone else go any deeper. Sorry, but trust me, it's better this way. As you close the book, you make out a single word scratched, not written into the inner cover. Your predecessor must have missed it, or else it was made after the note was placed. Telephone. Right? It's like you're a celebrity. Telephone. Welcome, message. From all our staff, welcome. We're glad you're here. As we're sure you're aware, the Library of Ouroboros is located in a picturesque part of Britain, atop a grassy knoll east of Sussex. Many rural townships, obviously bereft of their own libraries, refer their villagers to the library. It is beloved by all. We hope you'll take your time perusing our vast stores of literature, non-fiction, fiction, occult knowledge, cursed knowledge, words to melt the eyes of anyone who reads them, psalms of murder, and otherwise. You'll certainly have time enough, Bernard. You'll certainly have time enough. Picked up brass key. Not yet, yes. Here we go. That book mentioned my name. A coincidence. Nothing more.
Oh my gosh, that book also.
Besides, it was mistaken. The library wasn't in England. I found it in the German city of Olberg, sequestered away behind an ancient church.
That's...
Such a small and assuming front, as if by looking so plain it might hide from the rest of the world. You're an avid reader, aren't you, Bernard? You can't read these books, but don't fret. They'll pave your road to new knowledge. If you're stuck, think of yourself like a cataloger, or a librarian. That has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? The case towards the window seems as good a place as any to start. Greek mythology. Advanced Thermodynamics, Volume 1. Locked as well, damn. Tales of Woe.
To be fair, the heat death of the universe was about the most terrifying thing to me when I was growing up.
Expanding the Mind. Boiled in Blood. Forgotten Cultures. Four numbers. That bastard universe.
Mood.
That's Advanced Thermodynamics, Volume 1. 1. A history of torture. What lies beyond. You will travel no more. Whoa. It said disasters, expanding the mind, boiled in blood, Forgotten cultures. Wait, I know. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh? No. Perhaps the other way around? There we go. Finally, here's hoping that's the last of the logs. Hello? What's this here? Whoop, picked up screwdriver. Press F to activate flash. Oh, here we go. Some kind of skeleton. I've never felt threatened by a chair before. Hey there! Oh dear. It's another dead plant. A drawer is no place for a plant. Oh. Ah, guess that I can use the screwdriver for this. Here we go. Deeper and deeper and deeper we go. Picked up, you'll regret it, you'll regret it, you'll regret it, you'll regret it, you'll regret it. Something is wrong.
What's the lighting around that fan? It's weird.
I need to leave now.
There's no actual light in that room.
Something is scratching its way into my head.
Your mind is small. Your mind is fragile. A tiny fissure here, a little force there. No more burnout. We could make you a shambling husk, make you walk these halls forever. But we see your curiosity, your potential. We have something more in mind for you. We think you'll like it.
Thank you for visiting our library. So I'm realizing the one that had the big giant friend, that must have been a different game. But now I can't remember which game that was. But I think it also had like a library thing. So now, that's the prologue, so from there we now start anew. It sure as hell isn't my apartment. Nice painting. Shit, they've installed CCTV into the library of Ouroboros. Pretty depressing. Visitors: Yentil Krillman, April 9th, 1886. Mason Thompson, January 5th, 1881. Lionel Hess, September 2nd, 1900. Ella Batia, April 26, 1916. Samuel D. Eliot, May 1st, 1790. Alice Chen, October 30th, 1830. Hans Groening, February 5th, 1956. Bernard White, V. Greetings, visitor. You're more than welcome to sign your name and the date of your visit in this guest book. Once you've done that, we welcome you to explore the library to your heart's content, so long as it isn't after closing. Once you've had your fill, please let yourself out. You'll find a key to the front door on one of the desks in the study. Can I sign it? No, it's not. Well, they've definitely stocked the shelves a lot more thoroughly since last we were here. Oh, they've got computers now? The Library of the Ouroboros has finally gone into the, I guess, 20th? 21st? Unresponsive. Doesn't look like it's plugged in. Welcome message. Greetings, visitor. We'd like to take a moment to tell you about our wonderful library. The Library of Ouroboros is a state-of-the-art facility designed to replicate the rural charm found in many older buildings without the associated risks such buildings are known to accumulate. The building might seem like a strange sight amongst Wall Street's many towering skyscrapers, but we believe this dichotomy will be what sets us apart. We're glad that you've decided to give us a chance and hope that our stock of books will appeal to you. Obviously, our collection of information isn't so vast as to encapsulate the whole of the internet. We hope that the charming aesthetic design of our library will help you escape from the hustle and bustle of New York life. If you hear any strange footsteps, don't worry. There may still be construction going on above or below you. From all of us, thanks again. From all of our staff, welcome. We're glad you're here. The library is located in a picturesque part of Britain, atop a grassy knoll east of Sussex. Many rural townships obviously bereft of their own libraries refer their villagers to the library. It is beloved by all. Peruse our vast stock of fiction, non-fiction, poetry, and everything in between. Chat with friendly librarians and employees, and feel free to spend as long as you'd like reading, using our computers, or just spending time here. We always love new visitors. Should you hear any odd knocking in the corners of the building, pay it no mind. The library's on the older side, and the Foundation plays tricky on some visitors' minds. Don't worry, though, it's perfectly safe. Right? I have full confidence in this place. Last I remember, I was sitting at home, reading a letter from an old friend. But it's the strangest thing. Now I can't remember what it was about, or who it was that sent it. Oh, hey, this one's working. I also remember putting anything in my pocket, but I feel something. Press N to open notebook. Room 1. You should really clean this place up. Don't lose the trash. Room 2. This room makes me wish I had someone to vent to. Room 3, I think I'm cracking under the strain. I had the strangest inclination to walk straight into a wall. Room 4, there's a secret path in the dark. Room 5, art can be really illuminating. Illuminating. Oh hey, this one's not working. Broken. Well. Oh, wait. Oh wait, it's the wrong kind of phone. Oh, here we are. Incoming call unknown.
Hello. Welcome to the Library of Ouroboros. We're glad that you've decided to visit our humble institution. Hopefully, you'll find what it is you're looking for. Please be informed that the library is closing. Since most of our staff are currently away, please lock the door on the way out. We hope you've enjoyed your visit.
Thanks for visiting the Library of Ouroboros. Thanks for visiting the Library of Ouroboros. Thanks for visiting the Library of Ouroboros. Thanks for coming. You can go now. Picked up brass key. Well, this was a short adventure, wasn't it?
We don't get the sense we're gonna get to leave easily, though.
Peace be to you, friend. We're glad you've decided to join us. Despite its name, the library is open to people of all sorts of different faiths. There are vast tracts of religious knowledge, modern, old, and otherwise. We're certain you'll find the peace you seek. We know you've traveled far to arrive here, so please do rest. Keep an open mind, read to your heart's content, and we'll be sure you're well provided for. One matter of note, we ask you not to linger after closing, or to descend too far into the library's bowels. Some of our books are quite old and very sensitive to the ingress of foreign temperatures and moistures. Thank you for understanding. Ouroboros, a circular symbol, the snake swallowing its tail, a representation of the endless cycle of death and rebirth, of wholeness, the infinite, and a certain kind of cloying meaninglessness. Never put much stock in mysticism, but in this place it's pasted all over the goddamn walls. Tough to avoid that. Last I remember, I was on some occult website sitting on the farthest end of the internet, past the places that normally dissuade the less curious. Just a little too much time on my hands. I remember falling asleep, now I'm here. The recording said that this place is the Library of Ouroboros, so remember reading something about that, but not what or where. If you're reading this, keep an eye out. Something isn't right. V. Weird, almost all the words are crossed out and the pages are stuck together. I can't open this any further. Let's see, we got a trash can we can... What's this? Private. Dustbin anywhere? Got the achievement, clean up, clean up.
Oh, just throwing away the trash like the note. I guess they said to keep the trash. I guess you can keep the trash once it's in the trash bag.
Right?
I left something for you by the place where you arrived.
Oh. Talk about a blast from the past. All the phone numbers are 3 digits too short. Funny, a long list of books and the dates they were checked out. Funny, none of them have the year listed, only months and days.
Can't print on that monitor.
Let's see. Yes, 2 actually. Screen looks burnt out. Nothing happens when I press the buttons. Oh dear. Picked up forbidden knowledge. Terrible knowledge. Definitely didn't fall asleep in this chair. Handle turns, but I can't open it.
It said something about paths in the dark. Maybe you have to turn the light off and walk into a wall.
Maybe so.
Because it said, why was I walking into a wall? Everything just kind of smacks of Putstop. Now that I've actually experienced it.
Cold to the touch. So we have to walk down, turn to the right, become a shadow monster man. Doesn't move at all. Feels a little warm to the touch. Well, I mean,
just holding on to the door handle on the other side.
oh. Just the other side. Okay, well. And we've got the key, so I suppose we should just follow the instructions and let ourselves out. We've got our forbidden knowledge. I think everything's good. Yeah, let's head out. What a weird experience.
Yeah, let's just head out of this library into it.
This can't be right.
Hey,
Hello.
it's locked box.
We'd like to inform you that the library is now closed. Note that it is unlawful to remain on the premises after closing. This is your one and only warning.
Well, that's a bit unfortunate. Papers, equal parts smudged and illegible. Ah, shit. Come back here. The Minister's Doom, Act 3, Scene 2. Bernice enters, followed closely by the librarian. Okay, we all remember this one, right? Very early into my professorship, a student came to my office one spring afternoon with a stack of papers in her arms. She said she'd been having strange dreams of a place stretching forward and backward into infinity. Dreams of hallways splitting into hallways, dreams of being lost in the intricate guts of some gigantic place that could not possibly exist. On the papers were crude sketches. She was no artist, she said, but something about the dream had left such a vivid impression on her that putting what was in her brain to the page seemed her only option. She was clearly distressed. When I gently suggested that she visit the university psychologist rather than the resident ancient history professor, she violently shook her head, asking if I knew anything about something called an Ouroboros library, or perhaps the Library of Ouroboros. It wasn't entirely clear. I told her the common knowledge about the symbol, taken from the Egyptians by the Greeks and from the Greeks by the medieval Europeans, a sign in alchemy of death and rebirth and so forth. The student continued shaking her head all through my explanation until she suddenly cut me off. Those are too old, she said. The place for my dreams was modern. There was electricity, computers, but everything seemed ancient, and stank of old dust and damp wood and something else. Please, don't you know of anything in recent times that might have stemmed from that idea? I confessed that I hadn't, especially considering the size and the many niches of the modern world. She left without another word, leaving her drawings behind. Something about the conversation shook me. I looked through the crude drawings made in a shaky hand and saw in the familiar shapes and designs an odd air of ominousness, like looking at the facade of a dark building and hearing the slightest scratchings of things that shouldn't be, just behind the stones. All very juvenile thoughts, and yet when I went home that evening I brought the drawings. I couldn't help but want to look more into what we discussed, into that library of Ouroboros. It was largely fruitless. I found many sites and articles on alchemy, the symbol itself, or the public library in Ouroboros County, which was located somewhere in rural Wisconsin. But just as the hour crept past midnight, I found something, the slightest snatch of information at the bottom of a rabbit hole series of links. I will not repeat the website's domain or my steps to arrive there, for fear that someone might try to replicate what I did. But I will repeat what I found, because just as that student couldn't get the ideas from her head without drawing, I find I can't think of anything else, waking or sleeping. I hope this will help. The Library of Ouroboros, a kind of waking nightmare arrived upon by those too curious for their own good. Rich in black secrets, rich in dark ideas lost to time, rich in language from dead races on other planets. The fortunate die, the truly lucky, or perhaps the most unfortunate of all, become tenders for all time, knowing far more than any living being could ever hope to learn, without becoming a permanent, perpetually screaming stain on the face of space-time forever. None have left it unscathed. There are forbidden tomes that would prevent you from breathing should you merely touch them, and the tenders are beyond sanity and jealously keep their terrible secrets. You've searched enough. This is your final warning. That night I slept fitfully, my dreams beset by image of a dark, dusty place, eerie for its supposed normalcy. I could almost feel things passing by just beneath the floorboards, within the walls, watching. Every exit led to another room, nearly the same as the one before it, and out the windows I saw only black. My dreams have been consistently disturbed since that night. So much so that it is hard for me to teach, so heavily preoccupied is my waking mind. I hope this writing will be enough to put my mind at ease. One last thing. I've since tried to find the student who first contacted me, to tell her what I learned. My hope was that I might be able to put her mind at ease, or at least commiserate with her, but I haven't been able to find her. In fact, since the day she visited my office, her roommates haven't seen her, nor has anyone else, and I fear I might be next. The note is largely obscured by blood. You can make out only a handful of words, and one of the dustier books fell apart in my hands. There were these arcane scribbles. Feels, after I threw it away, still not quite right, like something's watching. Scribbles is not a real word on this page. Too smudged to be legible. Bolted in pretty tight. I don't see myself tearing this out of the wall barehanded anytime soon. Pretty shoddy barricade. Somebody must have been desperate. Screwdriver, I'm assuming isn't going to be enough to handle the things that have blocked the door. A kind slumber. I've been driving for miles and miles and miles. It's night. I'm tired, so tired. But on the road for what feels like days. Don't like this constant moving. Never have, but it wasn't this bad when I was younger. I'd sleep in the car with them while my parents drove. I don't have anybody to drive me. Two of them got too caught up in some of the darker parts of our world, a black library by our old house. They went in, never came out. That's why I can't sleep. Their book. What I learned without trying as I opened the dusty thing, sitting disused as I cleaned out what remained of the attic. Didn't even mean to, and yet, here we are. There have been no other cars for hours. This dark stretch of road, my truck, all I've known, as I drive along a halo of red and blue neon forms on my windshield, a bastion in the dark, a tiny diner. Hey there, Castlejania. And right? I'm not hungry, I'm not thirsty, just tired. But all the same, I take the exit as it comes up, pulling into the parking lot between a beat-up jalopy and a truck that looks a lot like mine. I hardly feel the cold outside. I hardly feel anything. It's like being trapped in somebody else's body, and things don't feel like they fit right on my muscles anymore. The diner's just as cold as the outdoors and hardly more inviting. The distressed red pleather of a bunch of booths that should have been trashed years ago, dirty tables, floors buffed into a mockery of cleanliness. Empty but for a man in a heavy coat in one corner and a waitress in the other. The man is standing. The waitress is also standing. They look like prize fighters about to square off. But they would if they were looking at each other. Instead, I can't see the man's face for his collar and hat. And the woman is looking at me. Seat, sir? I nod. Rough weather out, she says, trying to smile as I take my seat. I can tell I look terrible. Do you know a place where I can get some shut-eye, I ask, almost without realizing it? I can't sleep. Maybe I can still try. Not a motel for miles. You can sleep at your table if you want, though. You don't even have to order anything. Thank you. I set my head down on the table. My eyes don't shut. The black knowledge slithered its way from those stained pages and into my brain, and now it grips my eyelids, forcing them wide. The diner is sideways. I'm like this for a few minutes, then there's someone else standing sideways in front of me, that man in that coat. His face is a dark red mass. Sleep deprivation. Tired, buddy? I nod. The table is cold against my numb face. I think we can help each other. He reaches toward my face, laying a hand upon my cheek. There's a flicker of feeling, warmth, that cuts through the fog that swallowed up my head for days. As he withdraws his hand, I see a strip of ragged flesh in it. She brings to his face, where he lifts his hand again and the flesh is gone. Thanks, buddy. May I take the rest? I nod. The table is cold against my face. As I finish nodding, he turns my head roughly and grabs at it, pulling away another strip of red. There's feeling. The tiredness becomes more pronounced. He doesn't ask anymore, just takes. Each time his hand comes down, a little part of me leaves. At that point, I don't much care. Take it all. I'd like to rest. The table has turned red like the seats around us. Time passes. Feeling's gone. Sleep. The man in the coat takes down his collar, and I see my face looking down at me. Tired, he reaches down into my pocket, fishes out my keys. Rest easy, buddy, he says, and something else I don't hear. He's gone. It all is. I'm having a good time. First, I've been waiting very patiently to play this for a while.
Well, looks like we could potentially go out of that window.
I can't help but feel as if I stand before the precipice of some terrible reality. Left one room only to come right back to it. Shame there's no place to go but straight ahead. I've hidden a few tools in this room in case the path ahead isn't what I hope it is. If they're not here anymore, then good news. The path ahead, at least immediately, is probably safe. Zero chance of any hostile entities. They're still here, though. Well, I hope they're useful to you. You're going to need all the help you can get. V.
Secret numbers in here.
Right?
It was a 4 0. Oh, 4102.
Yeah. The window's locked, but it gives a little when I push on it. I need some way to remove the padlock.
So weird.
It's got okay.
Do we need bolt cutters for this particular padlock? Wasn't there a lockpick on the desk though?
There was, yeah. Still a nice painting. It's 4102.
We've given you chances. Ample warning. You proceed, we threaten. Continue on your current path, and they will find nothing left of your head. We swear it. For the last and final time, go back from whence you came.
Right? Ooh. Got some more forbidden knowledge. My amateur lockpicking skill to the test. Got it. I mean, before the first piece of forbidden knowledge was just, what, again? I thought I just went outside. Press F to activate flashlight. First bit of forbidden knowledge, we got a phone call, and then it just suddenly appeared on a table. Something about this room is even worse than the last one, so before there might have been an odd feeling in the air, a certain untraceable scent, but at least felt like somewhere people had been. Here, something's definitely wrong. I can hear something deeper in this room, barely perceptible, crying out in pain. Here goes nothing. There's no way.
Like these high ceilings.
There's no way I'm in the same library I was in earlier, right? This room's massive. See. Open atop. See, the Minister's Doom, Act 4, Scene 3. Open atop the roof of the Minister's estate. The Minister lies against a statue of a lion, spattered with his blood. A saber hilt protrudes from a gaping wound in his chest. The librarian stands over him, triumphant. And so you finally cease your pathetic writhing. The Minister spits up blood. Are you here to taunt me or to end this charade? Go on, go on. You've ruined my life, destroyed all I loved. Sever what remains, damn you. Come now, Minister, is there any need for this melodrama? Kill me, damn you, kill me! Are you pleading for mercy, I wonder, or trying to salvage the last of your pride? It doesn't matter, your reasoning is flawed. What are you? He doubles over, his words lost in a bloody coughing fit. Consider it, your ties to this world are severed. All earthly connections gone. Had I wanted to kill you, I could simply have stepped into your estate and placed that saber between your shoulder blades. And even now you still breathe, your wounds non-lethal. Or I should say non-lethal enough for our sake. Oh, what the devil are you talking about? Forgive me, Minister, but I'm afraid I've misled you. You see, this is never about vengeance. When I met you on your return from City Hall those 3 weeks ago, it was only a few hours after my first visit to the city. What? Then that tale about the library that I put out of business? A very flimsy lie, I'm afraid. Really, I'm quite amazed you didn't see through it. Oh, and since the truth is coming out in the open, it should be said that the odds were insurmountable from the start. You were never just fighting an individual. I knew it. That maid will hang. That maid is dead already. A half-hearted turncoat is of no use to me. Actually, that is exactly the truth that should come out, Minister. For you see, there is no such thing as me. Never was. There is only us. The Minister is silent, his mouth hanging open in shocked awe. A madman! Wrong, my friend. Neither mad nor a man. Nor are we here, as you so delightfully put it, to sever you. Quite the contrary, in fact. We want you to join us. The librarian steps closer. We are always in need of fresh, strong minds. Your impeccable business sense and your knack for keeping it from ever sullying your spotless, smiling public face has proven that you have exactly that. My God, get back! Your God is dead or asleep, or else he is somewhere out of hearing, or else he does not listen at all. No, no, Minister, my friend. You cannot choose between him and us. The only choice is to come to us willingly, or for us to take you. The Minister's hand darts into his coat, past the saber. In a flash he withdraws a flintlock pistol. I make my own options! The Minister fires straight at the librarian's heart, a perfect shot at zero range. But when the smoke finally clears, the librarian still stands. Casually he reaches up to brush the pistol shot from his overcoat. Regrettably, it seems you have forfeited your right to choose. The scene darkens as the Minister gives a strangled, agonized scream. When the light returns, the Minister stands alone. It is only him, the saber, and the blood-stained lion. Get comfortable, Minister. We'll be spending a lot of time together. The end. Achievement unlocked. Doomed. What the hell kind of ink is this? I don't think that's ink, Scoob. There's something in the darkness. Oh, shit.
It's like absorbing your flashlight.
Did you see the hands, though?
Oh yes, I saw the hands, but you can't really get a clear view of the hands because it's like just dark in there. Peter and Hatch really said. What?
Wrong turn.
Well,
There's only one way forward, I guess.
big book. The same skeleton stabbing the man.
On the failures, word has it that those who pass the librarian's bleak tests are granted knowledge beyond the ken of any other, but you want to know about those who fail. Each fate is as miserable as the next, but very well. Some few are allowed to retain their sentience but lose all mobility. Their spirits are torn from their bodies, with the latter being cast away. The librarian takes these spirits and compresses them. That's right, those tomes you've seen lining this place, those books you've ignored, many of them were once like you, poor fools lost in foreign place. Then there are the husks, shambling bodies that move without direction through the library's infinite halls, searching for heads that have long since been taken from them. Are their souls still here, locked away in some dark forgotten keep? Potentially, but they will search fruitlessly and forever. These fates are equally terrible, forever trapped in place, forever cursed to wander. There is one worse than both. Especially poignant failures, these that attract the librarian's knowledge but fail in the end, are given especially poignant punishments. Some say that in the library's deepest depths the walls shudder and shake and pulsate with life that should have died long ago. and some say that these walls are formed of those promising few who could not prove themselves. Is there any egress from this place, in death or otherwise? Perhaps. Perhaps not, but I'll certainly never see it.
Not with that edge.
Oh dear.
Overhead light bulbs.
We've got meat tunnel. What?
Oh, the portal.
What is this place?
It's also got hands in it.
Oh god damn it, what the hell's going on? Why am I back here?
Is there a hit between the
Like a
door and
beetle
you?
in an antline's trap, you flail your way deeper. It is gratifying to watch you wriggle your way to your doom. We so rarely have new visitors. Perhaps we won't spatter you across these walls. Perhaps we'll allow you to stay, join the others. It is what you want, is it not?
Made it to this room and I'm not going any further. Caught a glimpse of him. Bastard that's been talking in my ear. Was wearing a dark cloak so I couldn't see much more than his figure. Shape of his head wasn't human. Makes sense. Can't stop capitalizing his name. Psychosomatic, or did he do something to me? No, I won't be able to stay here forever. No, he's waiting for me, just a little beyond the door on the other side of this room. It's like I've got a date with this crevasse. Anything's preferable to what I think he's got in mind for me. If you're reading this, you should probably join me down here. Whatever ahead won't be pretty. I don't know about that, V. That looks like a pretty deep crevasse. Never trust a skeleton.
I mean, that's basically the takeaway.
You wouldn't even be here had you not been so damn curious. Only caught a letter from a friend and then you woke up here, yeah? Nothing you did? I know better. You've searched the library at home. Actively tried to be ensconced by the pull of black knowledge in forgotten places on the internet and the dusty cabinets of the world. You were looking for something. We both know why. It was all because of that letter. But it isn't just guilt that moves you, is it? It's that hungry feeling, that desperate wish to know all there is before the grave warps its gnarled hands around your legs and pulls. The mind has been lost to the ages. I can sense your heart beating. In fact, everything in and around the library can. Poor stupid bastard. If you recognized what forces you've caught the attention of, I think you'd go the way of the one before you did. Anyway. That's impossible. I'm sure there was a door here.
And the copy machine's out of toner!
Oh, I can show that. Something about this room is unnatural. I don't like it at all. He was old as sin, perhaps older, and had lived alone for a long time. Over his many years he had accumulated much wealth, knowledge, fond memories, nothing to stop the onset of time. As he walked the dark halls of his mansion, as he paced in the dark, as he worried away his time in his study, time continued along, tearing at his flesh, bending his brittle bones. The hands of the clock peeled his organs away from his body one by one, until his waning strength finally failed him. He was found slumped in his chair, surrounded by books bearing unidentifiable sigils. In the end, even they had not saved him.
More crash.
Right? Dustbin still over here? No.
What if you get the good ending for just making sure you pick up all of the
Here we go.
trash?
Dang it.
Beans.
There we go.
This is some advanced trash trucking.
Oh dear.
There's a meatball in there.
Picked up bear tablet.
Figure out the meats in later.
When adulthood found her, she found herself desiring solitude more and more frequently. Since her youth, her home had sat at the edge of a vast forest, which her family had warned her against exploring. But on the night of her 30th, she went alone to finally explore it. The woods were equal parts dark and foreboding, with thin, sickly antlers spreading almost a fence of wood. As she weaved between them, she arrived at a derelict cabin abandoned for years. Naturally, she entered, her curiosity driving her. They said that the MogsK found on what remained of her body afterward bore wounds as if made by a bear, though few had seen a corpse so thoroughly savaged by an animal. Got the fire tablet. In her middle age, she had little to do, and so gained a fascination with the old radio in her attic. It was a relic from her childhood, and it had never worked properly. She waned in the seclusion of her home, a desire to see it working again overtook her. Her curiosity matching her seclusive nature in equal parts, she plumbed knowledge in the dark recesses of her attic, building capacitors and vacuum tubes, twisting metal and wires. In the end, the radio sang. It was more than a radio should have been. Flames spouted from speakers, from wires, from the shattered glass tubes. The fire ate up everything it touched. She was reduced to a blackened skeleton. He was only a child, left alone for too long, as children are wont to do. He went off in the high, grassy hills above the apartment complex he called home. The tall grass came almost to his chin, tickling his nose when he stepped forward. The freedom normally kept from him was finally his, and it was magical in its way. So deeply enthralled with the hills, the grass, the view of town was he, that he did not think to listen for the rustling of grass. When the snake's fangs sank into his young flesh, they met no resistance. His body was found days later, huddled in a ball. Hey there, Grub. Snake tablet.
So far, it's been a spooky first-person exploration of a Eldritch library.
Son of a bitch.
Oh no, can we not get the trash wad?
No.
Okay, is there anything else we can throw in? Oh, it's so much.
The clock tablet.
There's a meat portal in the other room, as you can kind of see over there.
Yes.
If we can move that big machine or something.
Well, I've got to put the tablets in it, but I have to find the 5th tablet.
I see. So I guess we can get back there and grab the trash.
Let's see, I found 1, 2, 3, 4 tablets. Where is the 5th?
The 5th table is knocked over where the trash is.
Hmm.
So I guess it's the 4th table of the series of 5.
Let's see, the child. Well, let me interact with this real quick. So,
Maybe it's not.
the child was bitten by the snake. Okay, so adjustment sequence then. Okay, so it would have been snake, bear, fire, clock. How am I? There we go. Snake. Oh, excuse me. No, not clock. Snake, bear, fire, clock. Okay, so yeah, that's it.
It's not. It's on the floor.
Oh, here we go. Car town. He was 16 when he went driving alone for the first time. His family kept him from the world, he said, and it was more than high time that he went and learned about what was out there. It was less than an hour before he was lost. He hadn't received his license yet. After all, there were many winding side streets surrounding the small town he called home. It was on a lightless intersection where he met his fate. A pickup hit his sedan without stopping. His vehicle spun out and rolled into a ditch. The pickup vanished into the night. His head was pulverized by the steering column, running it to little more than a pace.